Good morning, everyone. This is a condensed weather-ready monthly briefing for eastern Montana and northern Wyoming. First thing we want to talk about this morning is a short-term forecast with a prolonged wet period anticipated throughout the week. The graphic on the right is a precipitation total from today running through Saturday. We're anticipating wet conditions, especially beginning tonight, Wednesday, and into Friday. Expect widespread 1 to 3 inch rainfall totals. Some of the highest totals could be across northern Montana, where more persistent rain occurs. For portions of south central Montana and northern Wyoming, there could be a break in the precipitation on Thursday before more showers wrap around into the region on Friday. Most of the severe weather threat has ended from the past weekend, where we saw significant hail conditions across many areas. Below normal temperatures will also be noted, with even some high elevation snow accumulations above 7,500 feet. For most areas, there could be some elevated stream flows, especially across portions of northern Montana, but no significant flooding is anticipated for most areas at this time. Portions of northern Montana are currently being monitored. Here's an April recap for temperatures. You see many areas, many states across the northern plains and northern Rockies in the blue shade, which indicates below normal temperatures. This is in contrast to what we showed last year with significant above normal temperatures in some of these same areas. Looking back 90-day trends, and this takes us from March and into the first half of May. You can see the corridor on the right there, the corridor of below normal temperatures into the northern plains, where temperatures were as much as 8 degrees below average, with much of Montana and northern Wyoming close to slightly below average temperatures as well. And again, a contrast between this year and last year, with the graphic on the left showing a corridor of above normal temperatures, significantly above normal temperatures across the plains and Midwest and even into eastern Montana. Turning our attention toward precipitation, you see many of the states across the northern Rockies experiencing near normal precipitation. The graphic on the right, dividing up precipitation by climate divisions, shows a little shade of green across the northern part of Montana, where some rains continue to impact that region. But the yellow shades across south central Montana continue to indicate below normal precipitation persisting into April, elevating some of the fire concerns as we progressed out of the dry summer of 2012 into a fairly dry winter. But some healthy and beneficial rains have certainly progressed as a pattern change into the last week or so. Here's the precipitation trends in the past 30 days, which accounts for this pattern change. The graphic on the top is total precipitation. You see many areas in the yellow and red shades across south central Montana and northern Wyoming, with really beneficial rains of greater than 2 inches and widespread at that. The graphic on the bottom shows the percentages of normal, which shows light greens to some blue shades, with precipitation percentages anywhere from 110 to over 150% of normal, which was certain news given the developing fire concerns that we had. Looking back in the past 90 days now, you see more uniform precipitation across the entire state. The graphic on the top is the total precipitation amounts, with widespread over 2 to 4 inches of precipitation, with some locally heavier amounts. And the graphic on the bottom shows much of eastern Montana now in the green and blue shades, which indicates above to well above normal precipitation amounts. Turning our concern towards severe weather, we had our first minor severe weather event with our first severe thunderstorm warning up in northeast Montana on April 29th. Then with the pattern shift beginning the middle part of May, some more severe weather reports up across northern Montana. With that pattern change, we saw precipitation on the increase. This is precipitation amounts across south central Montana, southeast Montana, and northern Wyoming. The blue shades of greater than 2-inch amounts in that time frame certainly very beneficial as we started to again have fire weather concerns that put a significant delay on our fire weather season, and even some snowfall into the mountains, where we saw some additional plowing activities across Beartooth Highway, getting that highway open for the holiday season, and put some delays on that as well. Just relay some information about the details of use of social media during events. Certainly played a significant role during our heavy rainfall the past few weeks. Information from Roundup, for instance, of some flooding and some elevated water coming out of the burn scar areas up in that region. So real-time feedback for that. Also information on severe weather and flooding into the Miles City area. And then Fallon County actually used it for follow-up information after a storm, gathering more details and reports about severe weather, flooding, that certainly helped us out a great deal. And the significant severe weather over the holiday weekend, the graphic on the left shows all those little white icons there. Show the hail reports, damaging hail reports that we had, large hail over 1 inch. You see much of eastern Montana had a few storms that produced the hail on Saturday, and then Sunday a little bit more in the way of isolated events, but one of the key areas that were impacted on Sunday was down in south of Sheridan in Story, where they had some significant hail that produced some damage to rooftops and skylights. Just a little bit on the snowpack. On this graphic from NRCS, you see the red line, which shows the current snowmelt trends, and the black line, if you compare it to the median, that's your black line there. And during this big drop off here, this was the first half of May where we saw some significant warming. We saw temperatures in the 80s and 90s in the lower elevations, which really started to bring out that snowpack again. Starting to get more and more concerns about what kind of fire weather season we might have. But just at the very end of that red line, you see it kind of leveling off, even jumping up a little bit. That was our pattern shift, and really that is really leveled off now, and like I said, we get some more snowfall potential into the upcoming week. We could see some of the snowmelt return closer to normal. Initially we had concerns that this snowpack could melt out a couple weeks earlier than normal, so certainly this pattern change again has been very helpful. Looking recap of the drought, some good news here, although we want to be cautious as drought relief is a slow process. We did remove some of the extreme drought conditions across portions of south central Montana centered around Billings with the recent rainfall. So hopefully we can maintain some of this wet pattern and continue to whittle away on that drought. Looking ahead into the summer months, June, July, and August, really no strong signals in either direction again with the neutral El Nino, La Nina conditions. The graphic on the left showing temperatures, kind of nosing toward above normal temperature conditions through those months. And then precipitation on the right, still a little bit of a trend toward below normal precipitation amounts, especially into the Pacific Northwest and west of the Divide. Much of our area closer to the equal chances. Again, no real strong signals either direction, so we can hope for some periodic rainfall relief to keep the current conditions on track. And we want to thank everybody for joining us for the briefing. Our next briefing will be in June, Tuesday, June 25th.